Right now, as you're watching this video, there's a very strong chance that an app sitting on your Android phone, maybe one you use every single day, is quietly, silently, and completely without your knowledge sending your personal data to servers located in China, your contacts, your location, your photos, your messages, all of it, packaged up and transmitted in the background while you scroll, shop, or sleep. And the most terrifying part? You never agreed to this. You never knew it was happening. And the people receiving your data, they are legally protected from ever having to tell you what they do with it. This is not a theory. This is not a rumor from some random corner of the internet. On March 31st, 2026, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, dropped an official public service announcement through their Internet Crime Complaint Center, warning millions of Americans and people across the world that popular Android apps developed by Chinese companies may be funneling your private data directly to servers where the Chinese government can legally demand full access. No warrant, no court order, no warning. Just your data, gone, in the hands of a foreign government. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you are going to know exactly which 7 apps are at the center of this storm, what data they are stealing, what governments across the world are doing about it right now, and step by step, how to rip them off your phone today. Do not close this video. This is one of the most important things you will watch this year. Let us start with what most people completely misunderstand about how data collection actually works on your Android phone. Most people think that an app only collects your data when you are using it. You open the app, use it, close it, and that is the end of it. That is dangerously wrong. The FBI's 2026 warning specifically stated that once you grant permissions during download, these apps can persistently collect data and private information from throughout the entire device, not just within the app and not just while the app is active. Read that again. Not just while the app is active. That means even when you think the app is closed, it can still be running in the background. It can still be watching. It can still be transmitting. And here's the part that will genuinely shock you. You do not even have to download these apps yourself to have your data stolen. The FBI confirmed that if someone in your contact list, and a friend, a family member, a coworker, downloads one of these apps and gives it access to their phone's contact book, your name, your phone number, your email address, and your physical address can all be pulled and transmitted to servers in China, you are not part of that transaction. You never clicked agree. You never downloaded anything. But your data is now overseas. That is the scale of what we are dealing with here. Now, before we get into the 7 specific apps, you need to understand the legal mechanism that makes all of this possible, because it is the backbone of why this is so dangerous and why simply trusting a company's privacy policy is not enough. China has a law called the National Security Law, and under this law, any company that operates in China or maintains servers in China can be legally compelled by the Chinese government to hand over any user. Data they hold at any time, with no judicial oversight required. These companies cannot say no. They cannot fight back. They cannot protect your data even if they wanted to. And the most alarming part is that they are not required to tell you when this happens. So when you read the privacy policy of a Chinese developed app, and it says your data is stored on servers in China, which many of them openly admit, what that actually means is that the Chinese government has a legal backdoor to everything that app has ever collected from you. The FBI made this exact point in their 2026 public service announcement, stating that apps which maintain digital infrastructure in China are subject to China's extensive national security laws, enabling the Chinese government to potentially access mobile app users' data. This is not a conspiracy. This is Chinese law, publicly documented, applied to your personal information every single day. Now, let us talk about the 7 apps at the center of this crisis. Every single one of these has been flagged by the FBI, cited by major cybersecurity agencies, named by U.S. state governments, or confirmed by independent security researchers to be sending data to Chinese servers. Let us go through them one by one. The first app is TikTok. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. TikTok? Again? We have heard this before, but here is what is new in 2026 that most people do not know. While TikTok's U.S. operations technically shifted to a joint venture with Oracle, Silver Lake, and MGX in early 2026 to address national security concerns, the app itself, the one on your Android phone, was built by ByteDance, a Chinese company. The infrastructure, the algorithm, the data pipelines, they were engineered in China. Multiple Senate investigations found that TikTok engineers in China had accessed American user data on numerous occasions. The app collects an almost unbelievable amount of information, including your location, browsing habits, every video you watch, how long you pause on each one, your device identifiers, your clipboard content, and even information about your network. Years of government scrutiny brought it to this point, but the data exposure that happened over those years, that data is already gone. And for anyone outside the US, TikTok's operations have not changed significantly at all. The second app is CapCut. This is the video editing app owned by ByteDance, the exact same parent company as TikTok. Many people who were worried about TikTok actually deleted TikTok but kept CapCut on their phone, completely unaware they were keeping the same wolf in a different outfit. CapCut consistently ranks in the top 5 most downloaded apps on both Android and iOS. It requests access to your camera, your microphone, your photo gallery, and your files. All of that is transmitted through ByteDance's infrastructure. The FBI warning from March 2026 was interpreted by Forbes, Fox News, and TechRadar as directly applying to CapCut. If TikTok made you nervous, CapCut should terrify you. The third app is Temu. This shopping app exploded in popularity with its jaw-dropping prices and its addictive gamified shopping experience. What most users do not know is that in February 2026, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton filed a lawsuit directly against Temu, citing its suspected ties to the Chinese Communist Party. The lawsuit stated, and I quote the Attorney General directly, that Temu's app functions like dangerous spyware and malware. Independent security researchers found that Temu's app requests an unusually high number of device permissions, far more than any shopping app would legitimately need. It seeks access to your camera, your microphone, your precise location, your contacts, and the ability to read data from your device's storage. A cybersecurity analysis found Temu's app contained code that could be used to access nearly all data on a user's phone. For a shopping app that theoretically just needs your delivery address and payment information, that is extraordinary. The fourth app is Shein. The fast fashion giant has been downloaded over 1 billion times worldwide. In February 2026, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton also filed a lawsuit against Shein, stating that the company is exposing Americans' data to communist China. Security researchers found that Shein's Android app had the ability to read clipboard content, meaning anything you copied and pasted on your phone while Shein was running. That includes passwords, bank account details, credit card numbers, and private messages. Shein's privacy policy openly states that data is stored in servers, including those in China. This is not hidden. This is in the fine print that nobody reads until it is too late. The fifth app is Lemon8. If you have not heard of Lemon8, you will very soon. It is a photo and lifestyle sharing app described by many as TikTok meets Instagram. It is owned by, you guessed it, ByteDance. The same company, the same infrastructure, the same data pipelines to the same servers. Lemon8 has been surging in downloads across the United States, the United Kingdom, Southeast Asia, and beyond, and it consistently appears on every major cybersecurity watch list as a ByteDance product. The FBI's 2026 warning was broadly interpreted by cybersecurity media as directly applicable to Lemon8. Many users who thought they were finding a fresh, safe alternative to TikTok have actually just handed their data to the exact same company through a different front door. The sixth app is DeepSeek. This is the Chinese AI app that sent shockwaves through the global technology industry when it launched in early 2025. South Korea discovered that DeepSeek was transferring user data to Chinese servers without user consent. Florida, New York, and Texas all banned DeepSeek from state government devices and networks. Multiple countries across Europe launched investigations into its data practices. The app collects your conversations, your prompts, your search patterns, and your device information. And by its own privacy policy, stores all of that data on servers in China. For anyone using DeepSeek on an Android device, every single query you type, every question, every conversation, every private thought you typed into that AI has potentially been logged, stored, and is accessible to Chinese intelligence services under the national security law. If that does not make you want to delete it immediately, watch that part again. The seventh category, and this one surprises most people, is Chinese-owned VPN apps. A 2025 security report found that both Apple and Google were allowing VPN applications owned by Chinese companies onto their platforms with almost no transparency about where the data goes. Think about that for a moment. A VPN is specifically the app that people download because they believe it will protect their privacy. They are using it to hide their browsing, to encrypt their traffic, to stay private. But if the VPN itself is owned by a Chinese company and routes your traffic through Chinese-owned servers, you have not protected yourself at all. You have handed your entire unencrypted internet activity directly to the very party you are trying to avoid. Popular Chinese-owned VPNs have appeared in app stores under innocent-sounding names with 5-star reviews, and millions of people have downloaded them believing they were securing their data when they were actually exposing all of it. If you have a VPN app on your Android device right now, look up who owns it before you open it again. Now, let us talk about what governments around the world are actually doing about this, because the response has been significant. It is accelerating, and the window for ordinary users to act is shrinking. In the United States, the FBI released its formal public service announcement on March 31st, 2026, explicitly warning about Chinese-developed apps. Texas filed lawsuits against both Temu and Shine in February 2026. Multiple states, including Florida, New York, and Texas, banned DeepSeek from government devices. Republican lawmakers introduced a bill in early 2026 to block Chinese Communist Party-controlled apps from all U.S. government devices entirely. In the United Kingdom, the National Cybersecurity Center, which is part of the intelligence agency GCHQ, published a formal advisory in April 2025, joined by agencies from Australia, Canada, Germany, New Zealand, and the United States. That joint advisory detailed 2 confirmed spyware families called Bad Bazaar and Moonshine, which were found hiding inside legitimate-looking Android apps. These were not random small apps. Bad Bazaar and Moonshine were concealed inside prayer apps, messaging apps, and navigation apps, things that ordinary people download without a second thought. The advisory confirmed that these spyware variants had the ability to capture real-time GPS location, live audio through your microphone, live video through your camera, files stored on your device, SMS and call logs, and complete device information. And beyond just passively collecting this data, the spyware could also play audio through your device, meaning it could be used to listen to conversations happening near your phone, even when you are not making a call. And then there are the file management apps, file recovery and data recovery, and File Manager, both from a developer listed as Wang Tom on the Google Play Store. Cybersecurity firm Perdeo discovered that together, these apps had over 1.5 million downloads. They claimed in their Play Store listings that they collected no user data. They lied. Perdeo's behavioral analysis found that the apps were exfiltrating contacts from your device memory, photos, audio, and video stored in the app, your real-time location, your device brand and model, your mobile country code, your network provider name, and your operating system version. They transmitted this data to servers in China without ever asking for permission. And critically, the app stated that even if data was collected, it would not be deleted upon user request, which is a direct violation of data protection law in multiple countries. Google eventually removed both apps from the Play Store, but not before 1.5 million people had already installed them. So here's the real question. What do you do right now? Let us make this fast and practical. On Android, go to your settings, tap apps, then see all apps. Find any of the 7 apps we discussed and tap uninstall. Do it today, not tomorrow. Today. For apps you decide to keep, or ones you cannot delete because they are used by someone else in your household, go into Settings, then Apps, select the app, tap Permissions, and manually revoke access to your contacts. Microphone, camera, and precise location. Switch location access to while using only at a minimum, but revoke it entirely where possible. Go to your battery settings and disable background activity for any app you do not fully trust. This prevents them from running, collecting, and transmitting while you are not actively using them. Download Google Play Protect if you have not already enabled it. Open the Play Store, tap your profile icon, tap Play Protect, and hit Scan. It is not perfect, but it catches known malicious apps and provides an important baseline of defense. If you think your data has already been compromised, and given these numbers, there is a strong chance it has been, report it at IC3.gov, which is the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center. They are actively tracking these cases. Here is something the FBI said in their 2026 warning that people did not pay enough attention to. You can check the privacy policy of any app to see where your data is stored. Go to the app's listing in the Play Store, scroll to the Data Safety section. If it says data is stored in China, even if it says that openly right there in the listing, that data is subject to Chinese law, you have now been warned by the app itself. The question is whether you choose to act on that warning or not. There is also a mindset shift that has to happen here, because the way most people think about app privacy is fundamentally broken. People think, I have nothing to hide, so I have nothing to fear. But this is not about what you are doing that is wrong. This is about what someone else can do with a detailed map of your life. Your location data over weeks and months reveals where you sleep, where your children go to school, where you worship, where you go to the doctor, who you visit, what time you leave your house, and what time you come home. Your contact list is not just your information. It is a network map of everyone connected to you and everyone connected to them. Your browsing habits reveal your political beliefs, your health concerns, your financial situation, your relationship status, and your personal vulnerabilities. To a foreign intelligence agency, that information is extraordinarily valuable, not to blackmail you personally necessarily, but to understand populations, to identify influential people, to map networks, to find pressure points in a society. Your data, aggregated with hundreds of millions of other people's data, becomes a surveillance system of staggering power. This is not hypothetical. The U.S. Office of Personnel Management hack in 2015, which was attributed to Chinese state-sponsored actors, exposed the detailed personal records of over 21 million federal employees and contractors, including security clearance information, financial history, and personal relationships. Analysts at the time said the Chinese government now had the most comprehensive database of American government personnel ever assembled, and that was a single hack. What these apps are doing is building something far larger, far more continuously updated, and far more intimate. And they are doing it with your voluntary participation every single day. You downloaded the app, you gave it permissions, you kept it installed. In the eyes of the law, you consented. The window to act on this is right now, because even if governments ban these apps, even if lawsuits succeed, even if new regulations come into force, data that has already been collected does not get deleted. The information that has already been transmitted to servers in China does not come back. The only thing you can control is what you allow to be collected from this moment forward. That is your power. That is your choice. And it starts today with 10 minutes of your time going through the apps on your phone and making deliberate decisions about what you trust, what you do not, and what you are willing to let sit in the hands of a foreign government indefinitely. So here is your action list before you do anything else. Delete TikTok, CapCut, Temu, Shine, Lemon8, and DeepSeek from your Android phone today. Check every VPN app you have installed and research who owns it before you use it again. Revoke unnecessary permissions from every app on your device. Most apps have far more access than they actually need to function. Turn off background data access for apps you're not actively using. Enable Google Play Protect and run a device scan. And share this information with the people you care about. Because remember, even if you clean your phone today, if your contact information is in someone else's phone and they still have these apps installed, your data can still be collected. This problem is only solved when everyone around you is informed. That is not fear-mongering. That is just how this threat works. The FBI said it. GCHQ said it. Intelligence agencies across 6 nations said it. Texas's Attorney General said it in 2 separate lawsuits. Cybersecurity firms across the world have documented it with technical evidence. And now, right here in this video, you have heard every detail, every app, every mechanism, and every step you can take to protect yourself. The only question left is whether you're going to do something about it, or scroll onto the next video, put your phone in your pocket, and let the clock keep running on your privacy. The choice is yours. But if you are going to make it today. Because the data being transmitted right now does not wait.